Hello everybody and welcome back to this lecture, and right now we're going to talk about different ways that you can approach the ethical hacking field. And by approach I mean what you can do in order to learn the best, in order to find the newest information, and in order to finally, after you learn everything, get your own first job. Okay, so first of all let's talk about what are the certificates and should you get them. Now, we mentioned that in the previous video I told you some of the certificates for the ethical hacking field, but now let's talk about whether that is something that you really need or whether you can actually continue without them. Now, there are a bunch of these certificates for this field, whether they are ones that are accepted in the entire world or whether they are the ones that are in your own country. For example, I will show you right now some of the certificates in my own country, and I will discuss whether that is something that you really need or whether that is something that would be a waste of time and money. Okay, so first of all, there are multiple ways to approach this field. You can start by going into a school that basically teaches ethical hacking, or to a university, not school. I don't really think they teach that in schools. You can take video courses, online video courses, you can get private lessons, you can, after all of that, get certificates. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the certificates and do they offer something? Well, let us go and show you an example of my country and what they actually offer right here in terms of ethical hacking and what you can learn. Now, before I actually do show you, let me just go right here and just open the page. It is www.simplylearn.com. Go right here. Let me just see. This is an actual website right here that will offer the ethical hacking. Let me just go right here. Let me just find it. If I go right, IT, it should be somewhere here. Testing Masters Program. Let us just go right here and add it. So it is, I believe, slash and then top ethical hacking certifications to consider article. Okay, so here it is. As it says right here, you can simply just visit this page and it will tell you top 3 ethical hacking certifications. Now, basically, right here, this is something that we already passed, whether you actually want to become an ethical hacker, why become an ethical hacker, and so on and so on. And here are the actual certificates. As we can see, Certified Ethical Hacker is the broadcast of available certification options. Now, basically, this is the mostly known certification for becoming the ethical hacker. As you can see right here, if you simply just click right here, it will lead you to the page where you can actually have different types of courses. As you can see, Certified Ethical Hacker Training Program. It is currently version 10. You can take a look at this video if you want to. You can read through all of this. As it says right here, to be a hacker, you need to think like a hacker, and so on and so on. You have right here about this program when you can read something more about this current program, but right now we're not really going to discuss this at the moment. As you can see right here, this is a scheme of actually steps you should take. First thing you should go is the Certified Network Defender, then the Certified Ethical Hacker. After it, you basically need to go through the ethical hacker practical way and basically pass this certificate and earn it. Right after you do that, you can go to the more advanced certificate, which is the security analyst, as we can see right here, and after it, the expert level is the licensed penetration tester. Now, these are some of the certificates that you can take in order to actually get a career in this, but most of this stuff that you will learn, mostly in the core and in the advanced certificates, is something that you can learn online. Like 70 to 80% of things that you will learn in all of these preparation programs, in all of these certificates, is something that you can basically get online. Therefore, is it really necessary to pay all of the actual money in order to have all of these certificates just so you can get the job? Well, in some cases it is, in some cases it is not. If you are making an application for a company that wants to have a certificate, so they don't really need to check up on you, they don't really need to check your skills, they can just see you have LPT, which is the License Penetration Tester, and therefore they will know that you have knowledge from this field. But does it mean that someone with the License Penetration Tester certificate has more knowledge than someone without? Well, that is not true. It doesn't have to be, so anyone that really wants to get into the ethical hacking can really learn everything and become a master ethical hacker without even getting any of these certificates. So don't really worry about that. You can have them just so you can show them, or just so you can actually show them to a certain company that wants to see them and that doesn't want to hire you if you don't have some. Okay, now these are some of the certificates to consider, but right now let me show you some of the less known certificates that you will find in your own country. Then they will go through a certain program which will be a few leagues long, and then they give you some certificate. Now in my opinion, those certificates are a waste of time. If you want to go and get an ethical hacking certificate, get a real one which is accepted in the entire world, such as CEH. Now, it doesn't have to mean that your country will provide you with a program that will not teach you much or a certificate that will not be valuable, but most likely this CEH certificate is going to be easier than that. But this CEH certificate is basically something that the entire world knows, and once you actually show the certificate, they know that you are certified ethical hacker. Okay? But let us take a look at the examples of different courses and different programs that you can take. Now I will show example in my own country right here. If I just type www.atc.rs, then slash, and I will just type right here, it will lead us to a page where you can see, now this is actually on my own language, so I will just translate it to English, just in case you really want to read something like here. And you will notice right here that this is an some website, it is not even HTTPS, that offers basically some of the ethical hacking course program and probably a certificate at the end. Now you can see right here, ATC benefits, practical exercises in an IT workshop, computer laboratory, certified lectures on engineering practices. Now the payment right here, you can see right here, number of hours 24, which is 300 euros, which is something around I believe 320 or $30 or something like that. It is not really that much, but there are more pricing certificates and programs that will offer even less hours of training. So let us be real, you can't really learn anything, or you can learn, but you can't really learn much stuff in 24 hours. So what kind of certificate do you want to achieve in a 24-hour training? Basically, here you can see the course, what the course offers. It is mostly everything that you need for the certified ethical hacking certificate. Just this is some different. Just this is a different certificate. It is in my own country. As it says right here, you will scan, test, hack, and secure our system. You will learn that there are 5 stages of ethical hacking and how to approach targets to manage to break each time. As we can see, introduction, what is ethical hacking and who are the hackers, what are the possible points of the attack, OWASP, bug hunting. Then after it goes into the second section, which is collecting information and social engineering, Google hacking, IP scanning, so on and so on. Then attacking on services and applications. And at the end we have attacks on user computers, smartphones, and Internet of Things devices. And at the end, hacking tools and techniques. And all of this is supposed to be covered in 24 hours. Now, maybe it seems like it can be possible, but in my case, in my opinion, if you want to cover all of this in 24 hours, you will not even briefly touch on each of these subjects, because, for example, I can talk about viruses, only about viruses for 24 hours. Now I can discuss, I can code them, I can show you different types of viruses, different types of Trojans, and I can take hours and hours on each of these topics in order to explain everything and in order to show properly the practical lessons of everything and so on and so on. So therefore, in my opinion, you can't really learn much in 24 hours once you cover all of this stuff in that specific period of time. And what this course offers you is 24 hours of training, then you pay 300 euros and basically you have the certificate that God knows who accepts right here, and basically if you show this certificate to someone, they will ask you what this is. Another example would be right here, so www, and I will just type here the actual link. So this is, I'm missing some letters, okay, Xford/course, and oops. Yeah, I will just click right here. I think it is this link. Yeah, it is. This is another example of the ethical hacking course in my own country. As we can see right here, I will just translate it to English once again. And you can see right here, brief description: student get acquainted with testing systems and networks, hacker attempts in order to check the security of computer systems, methods of testing, phases of hacking tests, computer programs and tools for the protection of computer systems, hacking of wireless networks and mobile platforms. Now, you can see right here, the duration of course is 6 days in 3 hours, which is even less than the previous course, which was 24 hours. If you multiply 6 days times 3, you will get 18 hours. And the price for this is in my currency, but if you translate this to euros, it will be around 650 euros for 18 hours. That is a lot of money for only 18 hours, where you will basically learn nothing, because you can't really do anything in 18 hours. They can show you stuff, but they can't show you everything. They can only touch on a few subjects, and therefore, in my opinion, this course is also a waste of time. You can get an online course that will have more than 18 hours of training, and that will be like 60 times less price than this course right here. So for example, this is 650 euros, and on Udemy or any other platform you can get a course that will cover everything that this course covers in for example 20 or 30 hours. Now the problem right here is that this course does have a certificate, therefore that is the reason why this is so priced. Basically they take a group of 20 students, for example, then they charge 700 euros for 6 days of education, which is a lot. But that is just the current state of my country. That is why this is so expensive, because right here in my country we are like 5 years away from, or 5 years behind than any normal country. Therefore ethical hacking is only now getting discovered, and in the future I believe it will get more and more important in my own country as well in other countries. So if you are from a poorer country, and I am from Serbia, you might want to actually take these real courses, these certified ethical hacking courses, these license penetration master courses, and then certificates, instead of these certificates and courses or training programs that are provided in your own country. They're most likely going to teach you some simple things and some things that you will never really need, or that you will need but that are not really so useful, while as in a more advanced countries, such as for example in the USA, you have real courses that will teach you real stuff. Okay, so for example, so to conclude, I believe that these courses that are not really that known are waste of time. Now there are some of those who are not a waste of time. You can simply just search in your own country. You can just simply type ethical hacking course or ethical hacking training program and see whether in your own city there is some physical ethical hacking education. And by physical I mean you go there, you have a classroom, they will teach you stuff, and then you pay for a certain certificate. Make sure that you first of all check out whether the certificate is accepted, because really anyone can just set up a web page. They just type a price of 300 euros, 24 hours, and they invite anyone to come over and pretend like they know stuff. And they can't really know it, but make sure that that certificate is something that is accepted and not something that you will flash onto your company and they will ask you, what is this? We never heard of this. And then they won't hire you. Okay, so another conclusion, if you really want to have certificates in ethical hacking, make sure to get these ones right here. This should be your priority, and if you want to, you can get different ones as well. But as I said before, it is not because this is the best course or best training program or best certificate that you can have, the hardest certificate that you can have. This is because the CEH is basically the mostly known certificate for the certified ethical hacker, and to whoever you show the certificate, they will at least have heard about it once before. Even though it could be that this, for example, this program right here, or the certificate, is harder to get than the certified ethical hacking certificate, but it doesn't even matter when your, for example, company that you want to have an application for has heard of the CEH and hasn't heard of this certificate. Therefore, this one is better. Okay, so basically that would be about it for this tutorial or this lecture. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next one, where we will touch on the subject of video courses. Hope I see you there, and take care. Bye.